Right. I'll even give you myself on screen. So let's start. What happened last was I was refactoring the contracts. Originally it was a list of contracts as AST nodes, so statement nodes basically. But I changed that to be a declaration where you put things, but then we ran out of memory to be allowed like to put everything in there. And what I did now was kind of pull it out of there and create something called a well, I have something just for parsing, and now I'm trying to make that work. So we are in like this contract description which has all of the things. Okay, and now we can do things to optimize this, I guess. I am not sure that things work. Oh, and by the way, I didn't make I should have, again, I should have made a, you know, a stop here somewhere, like commit some of this while it still was working, but I didn't. So don't do that. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Okay, so I am basically fixing this now. So we have, okay, I'll call this la la la, and I think I dropped like these contracts are fine. I changed that declaration in here and kind of removed things. So they should be, that's why things are bad. Okay. I don't need the comment though, so I can remove the comment and this one. Oh, actually, let's go back to whatever it was. So like this, right? And then we remove the comment because we don't need that. Actually, the contract params can be assigned during they can be attached to their comments, but we're not going to do that now. We're just going to have like this, and you can remove that one as well. It's no longer needed, and then we can just use let's run, right? So it's smaller now, but I'm probably not doing it the right way. Let's see here. So we are, look, we are doing like decl from contract description, and now it must match everything. So we have also the params should be going there, and because we haven't fixed that yet, and we also need the opt returns. So this is just like when we are done checking things, then we can generate that one. Okay, and then things work. Hi, Monolith. Motholith. Sorry, you're like Cyrillith. I don't know how to. I should pronounce your nick. Okay. We have. What do we do here? So here's should be a contract description. So ninth glue on. Yeah, you're just like happy that I'm able to pronounce your nick, right? Okay. Span doesn't refer to anything. Well, should be like this, right? So the contracts, okay. Where are the contracts? We are doing this. Right, we have the contracts up there. That should be correct. Let's see if we have anything else. Okay, parse alias. Okay, we have what? Okay, doing it right there. Let's see if I can find somewhere else. Okay, append docs. I don't use this anymore, right? Because I don't have those. Good. Didn't like that one. I guess it was more of a space saving thing. Okay, if we have contracts and the contracts has contracts, then we go to contracts not allowed, right? Because we can have a description. That's allowed. Like now we're allowing descriptions implicitly. Let's do that. Here we go. We only need like this. And the parse is not this contract description. Then we have desk from contract description. Looks like that. Enum description doesn't care about the contract. So okay, we have these attached contracts. La la la, and then we'll do like this. And first, right, so this. We're at actually, you can attach contracts now to some things, right? Because you can have it like for the enum declaration, you should be able to add the requires. So it's not quite right. Okay, and contracts has contracts. But did it already work? Contracts can only be used with what? Okay. That was something happened there. That's contract. The first that should be attached to something else. Should probably be like when we start working on parsing these contracts, we should set like first we set the first to like C, no, contracts ref. Set the first to C span. And then if you're here and we didn't set the first, okay, we already have. So then we set it to that. Good. I think that should like make the error message right. All of those pass, but it's hard to know whether they attach to the right, like if they do the right thing or not. So now while we're running this test, I'm going to think about whether we could add, what was it? It was the deprecation, right? So the deprecation, we have the deprecation code. What is this? Okay, so we have, oh wait, whoa, 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 whoa. We have contracts. Oh, let's see here. What's happening here? This is why you want to have a lot of tests. So, all right, and let's run this one only. Okay. Is there something special with this? Because it just worked. Save, no. Oh, it didn't have an error, right? So it didn't catch this, right? Somehow then it's not picking up those things. So we are going to why didn't it want to create those? So we have decal from description of contracts. There we go, right? If it doesn't have, okay, so let's go to, like, it should always set this one, right? Maybe it doesn't do that. No, it doesn't do that. So for obvious reasons, it doesn't work. So let's go. We go in here, and if it has a require, then we set. Yeah, we have contract, contracts ref as contracts equals true, right? And then what should we do for the other ones? Okay, params is a contract, yes. So anything here, I guess. Like maybe not. Okay, so a param is a contract. An opt return is a contract, but this is not a contract, right? Deprecated is a contract. We should put this a contract, even though it doesn't have one. Ensure is definitely a contract, and pure is a contract. And these are not contracts, so they then don't count. Okay, I broke something. Copy attributes. So what I'm doing, I'm copying a list in a single list for macro, which is this instance, and it has the decal list coming from what? The decals. So at some point we are copying attributes here, and it's not reasonable. So we are copying something poisoned. If we do like this, does it still, like, it does work? Maybe. No, it doesn't work. What happened? We are doing this, so we have the result. No, the result. We have a decal list, and we add this copy decal. When we copy a decal, the decal is a copy pop, and we're copying the docs. Okay. We go down in this inline thing, and we go to copy decal, and then oh yeah, right. So here I did I changed some stuff that's not supposed to be changed. So it's supposed to look like this. Maybe you didn't see that, so it just changed here. Now it works. Okay, let's run the test again. By the way, someone talked talked about, you know, they thought it was confusing to both have at for these and for the attributes, right? So they suggested we do like this. So this would be like a macro that's which is yeah, like the at macro, right? And while this looked fine, I mean, this looks fine to me. This is a good thing. But the problem is parsing this, right? So if you do like this, like if you have a function, like you have a function pointer, callback function like this, you have a maybe a, right? Now if I do this, then that means take that one and rethrow it, and then if it's not a problem, then we call it. So while this, you know, can only happen if we identify this one as, you know, like semantically we can do this, but it's we can't do it from a like a parsing. In the parsing case, we would need to parse this as rethrow and then like look for the two different ways. So if I have a function that like have a macro which is called, you know, a like this, maybe some x, right? Then how would the semantic analysis know which one to pick? Right? There's the macro and there's this one. So there's no way to do that. Well, except for maybe, you know, well, we can put this on the outer level, then there's really no way to do it. So it's not possible. As long as you have exclamation mark for rethrow, and there is no real better way to do it. If we are doing like it was before, where we had the question mark for rethrow, then we run into problems with Turner as before. So, yeah, and then we have like exclamation mark, two exclamation marks, which would be like very inconsistent with that. Then be the end. So there is no real alternative to prefix, although I think prefix looks a bit bad. Like I would so much like, much more like would be like, so something like scoped, like this, right? It would be much nicer visually, so much nicer. But I don't think there's a way to do that. So, and having a suffix like this, it's just that's plain ugly, you know. Having like this, I don't. That's that's even worse. So yeah, we're stuck with this for now anyway. Until someone has some great idea how to fix this. Okay. Now the test seemed to work, right? Sorry for being so tired, but I was up programming actually a little too late. Now that means that today I'm a bit tired. So, well, let's see if we can add that final thing that we want, namely the deprecation. So I think we should have room now for deprecation. So what we can do, let's see if we can add the deprecation automatically. It could be possible to kind of syntax highlighting solves a problem for the most part. Yeah, it does. But we're like, I would actually like, it has been bugging me. Like I'm telling you, this thing, like foo bar, to me this is not great. Like it would be nice if it was something like that, right? And the exclamation mark is also something that that is used by D for macros, by the way. So it's we talking about that, using that and stuff like that. But we don't have any rethrow character otherwise, and just this is so bad. Like doing something like this, have a prefix is honestly like horrible, because then you can't, like, when you start to compose this, it's like so unclear where the actual what's happening. Like, is it doing the try here, or is the try like all of them? And I just visually reading that, and the try is so large too, like very 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 loud, unnecessarily so, in my opinion. So we are stuck with this. But on the other hand, this, it's just for macros that are like doing weird stuff, right? So doing weird stuff should not be encouraged anyway. So because of that, it's kind of okay, even though it doesn't look great. Okay. Right, here is where we parse the contracts, and we are in here, and finally we can add our deprecation. So we are doing, like, that was the custom contract, right? So we are here, and we just want that text. So this is how it looks like when we are just ignoring the text, and we can just, if this one and the peak is a string, then we advance, and then here, if it's not a string, then we're done, right? Then we just say we have to put a dummy value to deprecate it. So we just say, like, contracts ref, we say char deprecated. So now I can say like deprecated equals it. Okay, if it is, okay, we can now already check. So if const ref deprecated, then we can set an error, like only, just like in this case, we just want one of those. Not because we couldn't allow more, but because it's weird to have more than one deprecated directives allowed per contract. Okay, so then we have the same, like if it's a string, then we are going to do like this. We have a char string that we're gonna fill out, and we have the no. Is it like that? Yes, it is. Okay, so then we have the size t length, and if we fail to parse these join strings, because remember we can kind of put them separately. If we fail, then we're done. Return false. Otherwise, we set the deprecated to the string, and we don't care about the length because we will zero terminate it here. I think like there we go. So we do a if there is a buffer, then we paste that buffer. So it needs to be null. So that means we're going to do a copy, and then we get that string in there. Okay, so then we are good for that part, and then we need to use this. So let's see where we use the pure, right? So not pure, maybe it's like the requires. There we go. So we are using it. Right, so here, right? I don't know if we can fit this this deprecation notice in there. We can try, maybe. If we have like deprecated, does that deprecated equals description? Right. Does that work? Yes, we have the space for it. Okay, good. Then we are going to the next step, which is we handle the attributes, because we can remember we like deprecation could just be an attribute and it could be this contract. So we have them on both places. Maybe I could remove it from from having it as a contract, but it's very convenient to do that. So we are going to analyze the contracts here, right? And we have the ensures. We have like at this point though, we should. This is just for function invocation, yes. So we want the contracts. So you got the contracts from where were docs, right? We could do like not like this. We remove that part. And then instead we are going to use that as soon as we create a contract. So contract from contract description and decal. So owner. And if description deprecated, then we're going to attach an attribute to it. So decal new, look at decal attribute. Wait, so that's wrong. We have the attribute somewhere here. And those should not be resolved yet. Or are they? So here we are parsing the attributes. Okay, so we are adjusting the parsing, right? So we can basically attach another attribute for this. So it's like an attribute is, yeah, that's gonna be fine. So we can attach this. Maybe we could, have the span where the deprecating is. So it's span, deprecated span. So when we are doing this, we can actually refer to it. So contracts deprecated span is previous span, I guess. See previous span. So we want to create an attribute. How do we usually do that? Well, here it is. So let's see how I access this one. There is some vec add, but let's see how it looks like. Parse. Where do I write this? Okay. Parse attributes. Typically like this. In here, create an attribute as a parse attribute, and then we get an attribute from here. So this is how we do it. Over here, right? Somewhere. There we go. So we want an attribute. When the name is should be resolved already. I'm just going to grab like keyword, add deprecated. The span is going to be like the description deprecated span. The path. What the heck is the path? I don't remember. Oh, it could be something else, right? So no, and then attribute the kind is equal to attribute deprecated. And then after that, we want to have some expressions. So if len of the description deprecated is greater than 0, then we can add expression. So create an expression. New const string, which again has the it just has the same as the deprecated span. It's not correct here, but and then we have the description deprecated. And after epic add, then finally we do a owner like deprecated should be allowed for pretty much everything, right? So I should probably do this in a different place. But let's do it from now. Critical attributes, back, add. Okay, so this is the one we want to do. But the thing is that we could actually create this when we do the whole deprecation thing. So instead of having this as a string there, we could create that. So let's see where we have right. Yeah, we write it here, right? And then, okay, we are doing the direct comment there. That's not right. Okay, so basically we know that we have the span here. So we have the start the attribute here. Right, we don't need to do that. And then if we have this, let's say like exp e equals span expert, no, what's that span? Expert new const string. We start here, right? Source span start equals c span, and then afterwards we can do like e is equal to this string. And the span now is span extend span with token. So we are taking the start, the prev, and that's the span. And then we have the string, which is the stir, and then we can attach this one to the attribute which we already created. This is already should already be up here. And then we set the description deprecated equals this attribute, and that's it. So contract wrap. Okay, and then this is wrong, right? So we have to have an after instead. But then we already have the span. Has contracts, yes, but it doesn't have a contract if it has if it has a deprecation. That's not a contract. It will not say it's a contract. We just say it has deprecated. So let's do like that. So okay, I think that's correct. So if it has contracts, this is going to be like we can, let's see here. Can we deprecate an entire thing? Yes, we can. Right? Attach contracts. So we have something here which is trying to attach contracts to something. These are the generics, right? So it's a generic decal. But we also use it for something here. Parse alias type. Okay, yeah, so we're attaching things to the generic. We're not attaching, so that's the deprecated contract directly mapped to yes, it's mapping exactly. Same, they're the same thing basically. Okay, so let's see where we have the has contracts. So we're not going to use like the deprecated for that, but okay, so here we go, right? Parse element contract, and we are doing this for the members, right? And then we have like for the false, but you should be able to, when we do this, we should still be able to grab to kind of create you should be able to do something for this. So let's do contract description, right? So let's do it like this. We require one. We should probably make like a 0 version of this. So let's define. I'll make a const. No, it's define. Now we can make a constant, right? So const. Uh, mm. Parse element contract, yes, and then we should have another one. It should be like attach deprecation contract. So if we have a contract and it has deprecated, then we are going to do a like add decal attributes. Thank you. Yes, I really wanted arm arc 8_5. That was like exactly the one, like in a different place. Not inserting at my cursor, but somewhere else. F you. F you very much. So, okay, so attributes are getting this contract deprecated. We do not need a bool here. What's this? Wait. Static inline. Maybe just inline here. Force inline that one. Okay, and here we have the contracts. Now we do know this. So if it contracts. Let's go. I don't know. All right. Parse element contract. This is wrong now, right? Because we're setting that on the first, but that one can be like where do we use this? What do we use this for? So okay, so maybe we should never set that one unless it's we don't set that. Do it here. And we should do it here. Don't do that there, but we'll do it here. Oh, maybe like this. We have a lot of space. We can do whatever we want. Right. So right. Then we do something similar here. So first is right like that. First contract. Okay. What contract? Like this. Come on. Stop thinking like that has to be like I need AI. I don't need the AI completion. That's what's taking this so much time. Taking so much time for this. Con the first contract. There I go. Is that one? Question would also be a contract. I don't know. We need to track a bunch of things actually. So that's contracts is true. This is a contract. Right. Then this is a contract. I don't know what this is, so can ignore that. Okay. So then this error here is like first contract. Right. Let's see what else we need to fix. Of course, we're not doing anything here, right? So parse element contract. Yeah. And if we're like doing this, then we should attach the All right, we should have contracts. Description contracts equals empty contract, right? And then we pull that contracts up there. And when we create this one, we have like, okay, let's parse the attributes. Here we can attach it. So attach deprecation from contract. See contract member. Right. Let's see if somewhere else. That's the same thing here. So we are contract description, contracts, and then we pass in this contracts, right? And then once we are here and have parsed everything, we can do, oh, in here, right? Okay, we have two places to do that. Okay, that was not the one I thought it was. So member decal, where would we create that? We create it here, right? So we can just attach it afterwards. See contracts member decal, right? And we're done. Okay. We don't do this anymore, right? So then we don't need the owner, so we can remove the owner again. Maybe. We use these here. So in this case, we can decal type attach deprecation from contract. Yes. Thank you. Contracts. And then the decal type. Where else do we have this? Here we have it. So again, attach call it docs, okay, right? Maybe contracts. Okay, and then finally we have this one. Then we do the headers, and then we do the globals, and then attach. Right. That's the only place. So we are, you know, here we have the enum values. Okay. Contract description, and then we pass the contracts. And then after, like, ideally here, attach it. Now, not used everywhere now. We have a bunch of places where it's still no constraints allowed on struct union members. Ooh, no constraints allowed on. Oh, and then we have like first contract, right? Yeah. Oh, it's like a not. Not. There we go. Now let's see. If I'm just going to test something. So we have the enum, foo, right? And we're going to have like deprecated bad. Okay, and then we are going to have ABC, right? So it's not unhappy about that. Then we just use foo here. So I don't know if I did this for like, okay, and did I get an error? No. If I do like this, I probably will. Okay, a line is not invalid. Okay, I guess I did that wrong, right? So okay. The deprecated is there, right? How did it manage to be a line though? That was special. So okay, deprecated. There we go. I did set that to the attribute which should be deprecated. So that's a little unexpected. Actually, very unexpected. Okay. Right. So well, that's I actually don't want to do this first because I know it's broken, right? So but we want to have deprecated working on top of this, right? So this should be okay. That mean because it's not, that's because parse global declaration here. We should we have these attached contracts, right? So the attached contracts down here. So like we should always like if contracts if we have like deprecated on that pickle, then we want to attach deprecation from contract. So this should always be good. All right. So now I should get the wrong message here, but that's fine. Right, we got this. We got some warning at least. Foo, okay, we got foo is deprecated. That worked. How come it didn't work on the other one? That's a question. That's a good question. Okay, maybe there's something odd with that. Like, what happens if I just do normal? Like, oh wait, like, okay, am I not allowed to use deprecated on? Oh right, I'm not allowed to use that. So deprecate is not a valid enum value attribute, right? But that should be like also it's not an enum blah blah blah. Let's see, it's not a valid blah 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 attribute. So it's something like this. So okay, we get that error, right? So let's see why we did get the very odd thing. If we do like deprecated like this. Oops. So this was the one I was using. A line is not valid. All right. It's getting a bit chilly in here. It's not a valid attribute. It's not a valid attribute. I don't see it now. It's not a valid. It's not a valid parameter name. It's not a valid member. It's not a valid this one, right? oops, I clicked. Okay, here we go. Right. Like we should hit this, right? So the attribute, the type is deprecated, right? So, what did that? Oh, okay. I set the name to aligned, right? Why didn't you tell me? Okay, we have attribute deprecated. So look, I set this one to the wrong one. So at deprecated, right? So now it's now it's okay. Um, so it should never add those if it's unless it's okay. So parse. What are the ones that aren't like allowed? So let's see here. We can look at the domain, right? So we can have attach contract. Somewhere we are attaching this thing. We can have like if not, and then we return poison decal. And then we can do just put this together. If then we return poison decal. And that means we need to update this one for everyone. So we're gonna look at which one's using this. Okay, so if not, then we return the poison parent. So I'm gonna explain why I do this. Something like this, right? So it should look the same for these. The decal type here. The enum const. And of course, this doesn't compile. I know that, so it's going to add the return later. Yeah. So okay. So now we have this function here. Okay. It's going to return a bool because if it's not a contract deprecated, then we are fine. False. We don't turn true. However, if allowed attributes list we have that list of attributes that where you kind of can look at where there is it's fine or not, which was the one we were adding that particular check to. Where did it stop? We had here, so in here, right? So attribute domain. It's unfortunately defined there. So deprecated is like for almost everything, but not everything. So can pull this out of here. Yes. Where is that list though? This attribute list is here. So, and we end up having that defined in here. Nope. Okay, so it's in the sim tab. Well, we can actually define it here if we want to. It's not the perfect place exactly, so maybe AST-C. So in here, maybe at the top, set these. So we have an attribute domain, and then these properties. Right, and we want to declare this extern as well. So let's declare this somewhere. Okay, so now we could ask about that. So attribute list. Attribute domain. And how do we use that? So it's the it's used here. And domain is actually decided here. It's passed in here. How do we get the domain? I just pass. Okay, so I do this. I really need to have like that was a bad refactoring. That was a bad refactoring. Okay. Let's not have it here. So we have some of these where it's not okay. And I'll just have to handle that. So that's the application from contract. It's not going to be a boolean now because I need to I just need to exclude it from the cases where it's not allowed, right? So then it doesn't really need to be a boolean, and then I have to revert to whatever I was doing there. So let's revert this. So function, it's fine, right? In an enum value, in that case, it's not fine. So if contracts whatever it is, contracts deprecation, I'm gonna have like a turn schema error contracts enum values cannot be deprecated. I think. Right, so because we have almost everything that could be, almost everything can be deprecated except like callback types as const, members, you know, interfaces, aliases, but not, we can have like all of them. Let's do it. So we have an example where we have everything except something. Okay, attributed main. We do like it's not, you can't deprecate add deprecation to call. Where is it? Deprecated. So you cannot add it to a call, and you cannot add it to an actor like where's the main defined? Okay, that jumped to the wrong thing. Now I think like I killed off uh, the C lines highlighting. So it's okay for pretty much everything except for enums, enum members. So members are okay. Attributes are okay. Do we have these ever on anything else? Like, okay, oh wait, we already know what to do. We caught this like somewhere here, right? At your enum value. Okay, so at your enum value is not okay. At your enum value. So you can't make that deprecated. A parameter, can it be deprecated? No. And after param can't be deprecated either. Okay, that should be it. So now everything is broken. So with struct body, we are fine. So we can just do this. And next is we parse a global, the bit struct body, it's fine. We parse it from a macro, that is fine. It's not a pointer, okay. Dot. Let's see what the others are. Okay. Here you go. Alias type, it can be deprecated. Sim tab. Okay, the sim tab is just a symbol table. What? Contract description doesn't. Okay, yeah, sorry. It's this. Classic name. Call it sim tab. Deprecation. Did I deprecate it? Okay. Yes, that's what I meant. Right, anything else? Here we go. So for the other ones, that should always be fine to attach this. So we are in here. Okay, we don't have that. So return print error at. Turn it false. Error. This enum constant is deprecated. What? Uh, what? What to do? Oh, I took that one. This, okay. Yes. Uh, deprecating an enum value is not allowed. Okay, so now that works, right? Then we want to see like, okay, let's deprecate on the cost enum. That should be allowed. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, well, we'll add that as a feature later on. Maybe a struct, right? Struct day, right? Oh, what it says? I want to copy that. Why didn't this work? Uh, um, what? Like when we resolve the generic, what? Okay, so if I just do this, doesn't it work? No. Okay, what Carm can you do? Right. You change all the ordinals if you remove an enum value. Maybe we'll allow it later. Something goes wrong. Okay, so we are in here doing the type alias, right? And we resolve it. Resolve the type. La la la. Parameterize type. When does this stop working? Maybe it's something else I did. So let's maybe I'm like I did some undos, right? So let's look at what it looked like for like a little earlier here, right? So okay, you can see this, damn it. I'm just going to remove one thing here. Just looking at things. It was working before, so adding this contract. This looks fine to me so far. Of course, append docs is gone, but that's a different thing. Parse function definition takes the contracts, yes. This looks okay. Let's see. Works now. Close window. Okay, go. Go, go, go. Nope. No, no, no. So we have some poison node here. Actually, it's actually dead. So we are going to take the oh, I reverted this fix. So yeah, that was bad. Okay, now it works, sort of, I think. Right. And then we can do deprecation on this one, right? Should be working now, saying it's deprecated. Yeah, so foo is deprecated. And we can say deprecated, do not use. Okay, and do we see words? No. Okay, maybe we'll allow that for the enums, right? So what's the, where is that? Okay, so we're gonna have like attach deprecation. So we can do that, and then we need to allow it though. So in this place here, attribute attribute equals in analyze. That was jumping to the right place, right? Good. In that place, it just forgot that I moved it. Analyze attributes. Yes, there we go. Like it still hasn't parsed this because it was just so sad. Okay, so the enum values are now possible to deprecate. Maybe I should allow deprecation of params as well. I know. It for now, that's not allowed. Oops, I forgot to test this. So, if you have an enum and you deprecate one, this is going to be fine. But if I use it, then I might hit the deprecation, right? So if I do ABC, does it complain now? It didn't. So foo ABC, will it complain now? Well, and that's so if I do this, right, I have foo A, and it's deprecated through this. Deprecated like this. And I use A. Foo B is A, right? Do it catch that? Yes. Warning is deprecated, right? Let's see where we find that. Maybe you can. Warning is deprecated, yes. On use. Trying to find usages, but we are dead to the world. I'll close this window and try to reload the project. IDE error occurred. Thank you. Maybe it will occur like eventually. No. Oh, man, it's broken now. Invalidate caches. Yes. Just take everything and something like, no, not those. We want to have like reload all from disks, maybe. Nope. Invalidate caches. Invalidate and restart. How you kill off sea lion. Okay, there's a call from me. All right, I'm back. So I think it's now actually working. Yeah. So here we go. We have some warning on use, right, for the type. The warnings for the var decals, right? What happens if we use an enum though, right? Here we get, like we have, we'll analyze an identifier. Here we have the inferred thing. So analyze enum constants. So here we go. Okay, if it's a raw one, blah, blah, blah. And then we should have like sema display deprecation warning on use. And then actually, if it's a warning, if it's an error, then we could be returning false here. Return false, return true on these, because then that is about like whether we should issue an error or not. So we have this thing here. Go back. There we go. I'm going to add a bullet to this. It was before this one was created, before there was a way to return false. So this is interesting. Why do I return true on this? Okay. It's probably the value, right? So continue and then have this error there. Like we are poison. This is weird. We are doing a poison, then we return true. Like we, oh, okay. So, okay. No. It's because like, there are two things in there. So, okay. So we always return true if we found it. And then it could be an error, poison thing. Okay. Is it not deprecated? Then we return true. Ignore or return true. Okay. Now we're fine. Right, did we get an error here? Oh, look at this. Event type is deprecated. Use NS event type. In here, right? But we are in, should be in a context where everything is deprecated anyway. So let's see why it isn't set to a deprecated state. So we do like we are here, right? In a warning this time. So get to this point, right? Because we are analyzing the type access here. right? But we are doing that in like in a call environment where this ignored deprecation should be true. So we are analyzing the enums, right? And we are setting kind of a call environment for this. So analyze decal, right? Do we already have a call environment then? Context of transform for val, right? So we're setting the call environment to the context call environment. However, there's somewhere here where we want to okay. So if decal kind is deprecated, that one. If it's deprecated, then we are going to set the context call environment as ignored deprecation. True. Otherwise, we'll get like these follow-up things. I think this should be correct now. We should just get one. A deprecation warning. Right. Oh, we still get that deprecation warning. That's odd. Okay. So we end up here. I should get some food soon. Okay, we are in this thing. We're here. Analyze enum. And did we enter this? Like, is decal deprecated? Decal is the event mask. It's deprecated. Right. So like this. Because then we can look at what the state was on the stack. Okay, so when we went here, which is far up actually. So is deprecated is false. So it says that the event mask. Let's run this some more. So it basically is saying event mask is not deprecated, but it is deprecated. So okay, if decal stir equals decal name and what is event mask, and then we do some puts. Yep. So now we can jump into decal. Oh, hang on. Did I start resolving those things though? I didn't. So it doesn't know that it's deprecated yet. So instead, you kind of have to do it on the inside after, setting that. So all of those have attributes though, right? So just if you analyze the attributes then and you find a deprecation, after that you could always set it to deprecated true. So like here, if decal is deprecated, decal, then we say context call environment ignore deprecation. It's true. We need to do that for every one of those, unfortunately. So for the bit struct, it's the same thing. So actually it should be super early. As soon as you know what it is, you need to suppress it. Function type, similar thing. Okay, I think, okay, yeah, here. And then a function, okay, no, that's not it. So unless function macro, I think like when we go in here, yeah, we do that, and okay, do that thing. Macro itself, again, it's going to do the same thing, var decal. So I hope that's fixing itself. Type defs, same thing. Like, because otherwise we do it twice, right? So when we hitting the wrong button. So for example, an old thing might use something deprecated because it is itself deprecated. So that's completely normal. They don't have that, right? Good. So let's see what happens now. We still hit this one, but for which one? Right. Now it's only for that. And we can set the deprecated. Oh, we didn't get it for ABC still. I thought we should be getting that, but we don't. Okay, so why didn't we get that? Like, I feel like I'm going deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole here, but you're gonna analyze that particular infer that thing. I thought that that would do it. So analyze enum constant, right? And then you split. Wait. Analyze enum constant doesn't even need to have that, right? You could have it, but you don't. You have like this, right? Sim identifier find possible inferred, and then you have like that's what I thought was happening, right? So I thought this was what happened. So I wanted to, you know, this, and it was in like there's no call. So let's turn off the standard library. This. Okay, and do we hit that one? So when we do this, we do find this ABC constant. And we continue one more step, and then we'll analyze it if it's needed, right? And then we continue. And what's the decal here? That should be like the, oh, it's the foo. Okay. And then we have like the enum constant itself, right? So the enum constant should be do both, right? So it should have like enum constant as well, right? So that's why it didn't work. Okay, so we got this one is deprecated, right? ABC is deprecated. All right. I think we have something that kind of works. I should add this to the test case for this one, right? And we should deprecate deprecation. Finding file structure. Okay. Open in. Go to. Isn't that it? Go to application bar. Like what? I think we're at the end of this marathon kind of thing. Yeah. And we added a bunch of features and we just need some test cases. So deprecation contracts is like contract deprecation C3. We have this one, and then we should have like an error here. Warning, actually. So let's run the test cases. Okay. Well, if this works, we go and do a put this on deb. Like I do admit to putting things directly in master, but that's usually when I have when it's a smaller thing. So otherwise I put it in depth. Again, I need to like I'll just stop streaming here because there is nothing exciting happening now. Any questions, by the way? Like anyone want me to explain anything about what we did? What we why, and what's coming next for C3. Let me just talk about that. So recently, people have been using and trying out C3, and they ran into issues with the LSP, and that just gave them a really bad experience straight off the gates. And there is like I haven't really bothered with the LSP because I'm not using it, right? I'm just using the IntelliJ one, the LJ plugin, which is not perfect. and but so many people are using and relying on the LSP. So I want to make that a better experience. I know there is like what's called C tags or something on like where you can, which is one standard, right? At least, I mean, C3 could generate those super easy, right? And whatever it needs to do, like right, and then people could maybe use that if the LSP is making a mess. But having a good LSP that would be very good for everyone. There was a question about like attributes. There was a discussion. Yeah, I mentioned that, but just we have a limited amount of unique identifiers. So this the fact that attributes are used in different ways, just the at symbols used in different ways, it's just something you have to live with. Um, uh, if we had more characters available that made sense, then that would be a different thing. But right now we're kind of constrained by what we are, what is available. We could, of course, have like, oh, some people love their particular thing, like things that, for example, someone thinks that error handling in C3 is just boring. They don't want that, so they say like, yeah, we can just remove the error handling could be super verbose because I'm not using that, which is kind of annoying to have that people saying that. Like we don't give a fuck about anyone else. I just want my particular use case to be super clean, or my particular preferred syntax. It's always a trade-off, and I don't try to play favorites. I don't try to do like, oh, I think this is. I don't think about like, oh, this is beautiful or like very elegant or something. Because once you go into that rabbit hole, what you think is elegant is something like someone else thinks is ugly. Or worse, you sacrifice reasonable semantics for elegance. So like C isn't beautiful. I think like Pascal was very nice to read. That's why that's like a favorite. I don't like Java though, which is more verbose in maybe that direction. But Pascal was really nice. Really nice in finding things and so on. With the begin and end, I actually liked them back in the days, right? Oh, here we go. Here we have. Oh, okay, these are the errors that we wanted, right? The ones that we were expecting to see too. Anyway, that means I am not. I'm not so like I just try to have something that can fit together without, and then there's the constraint of C semantics that I don't want to change, some operator or something just to make it work. So that means we are kind of constrained, but that also means it's kind of easier. Okay, whoa, what's this? Whoa, we found some errors. La la la, what's this? You see, oh, we are doing this, right? And it's not resolved yet. So let's look at the in recursive. Recursive. Right. Yeah. Here we go. That makes sense. It's good. Like I love having having things like this, so that tests are just catching this. Okay. So what happens here is that we are running into the maybe I should stop that. We're not going to run all the tests. We're just going to run this. So we are checking. Want to check whether this is deprecated or not, and then we end up here. So we're analyzing the enum constant, but we're not done analyzing it, right? So if the resolve is not done, okay, but we can have like the resolve is running. We are already done with that one, but we are not done with the constant, right? So that means like we need to set the resolve to done. In order to make it. So enum constant, because we will end up having it done eventually, right? So look at this. We have the single. We do a copy of this, right? It's a raw constant, and then we always do a copy. So okay, and then we replace it with whatever constant is, right? So why is that enum constant not resolved yet? It's because we are still resolving things. So we can do like this. So if enum constant resolve status equals resolve done. Yeah, in that case we can test it. I think that the enum should be the decl should be resolved done already. Yes, so it's just the we can get this. So stop those, and then we run it. I think this should be fine. And now, okay, it's missing a forwarding function, but it's not giving me an error. So do like this. So, okay, there's a bit mixing on contracts, attributes. How do you decide how to split those? How do you mean how to split them? Because in a contract, the first thing is also always the contract. So the contract can never, like, even though there's a deprecated attribute and deprecated contract, the first thing is always the name of that particular thing. And I don't know if you know this, but it's possible to have use defined attributes as well. So it's not working the way I want it to work yet, but it will. So you can, like right now, I think you can like create an attribute and then just like have an attribute, and then the parsing is just okay. It tries to parse the string that's coming after, but we will add so that you could maybe have a number or something in between. So you can decide if you have like an expression and the name, or and the value, or just a string. And the reason for that is that if you want someone else to be able to extend these annotations, then you need to have it parsable, right? So if someone, an IDE, like wants to add support for some other attribute, then that can be done. So, for example, the deprecated attribute, what pushed for the deprecated contract to be added? Why do I want to have both? And the reason is that actually putting it together with a function is not super nice if you have something big, right? If you think about the contracts as going up to the interface, right? And not then you want to have that declared on in the interface file rather than in the declaration of the function. So less duplication because the contracts can be you know you can add them together, and right now it's not possible, but you can deprecate an entire module, right? And doing that should not be a deprecation attribute. It's just you can just have that in the contracts for that module, I think. So I hope this works now, but I wanted the deprecation. Actually, the deprecation in the docs is nicer. In the contracts, it's nicer. So let's compare. If we have something today in the library which has deprecated, so let's look at for deprecated, right? So like you have something like this, so it ends up being a lot of these. So instead what you could do is like take this out and then put that here. So I don't know if I can dare do this without it crashing, but you can see like putting this deprecation up here with more text. If you have like long term, like something that is deprecated for a long term time in your library, then having it in the docs, pulling it up is nicer. It's like kind of nicer to read it with the docs, and you can have more text without it pushing things away like this. So I think it's for more serious deprecation, it's nicer. And maybe we'll expand the deprecation saying like have a version number, right? Yeah, it's just like why you could do this. It's this is also the reason like why I don't why you can put it up in the you don't want these attributes just overflowing. Some people have high resistance to this, so they're fine with having like a meta program running towards the right hand side or at the top, right? Like in other languages, you would have these attributes before thing. They think it's fine to have like their meta program having running up here, but personally, I think that's very hard to read. So I cannot embrace that solution. For me, I don't know if I'm like uniquely bad at that, or if it's like others agree with that. But for me, at least, I kind of want. We have the top one, which would be the contracts. We have the side one, which are the attributes, and so basically in other languages, basically they are using contracts that so we can have, but we can lift like if we lift this up here, right? Have the same thing. So here we get more opportunity to do descriptions and so on. I think it looks better here, to be honest. But if you're doing like a lot of them, then yeah. What do you think of giving the language tools to add their own contracts? Yeah, so that is that exists. So if you look at how they parse things, let me grab something here so we can actually do this. And let's just see. I can do like hello. let's compile this. I don't remember what we get, what kind of message we'll get, but that should work. Okay, zero size tricks. So yeah. See, works. So you can add your own attributes. Like, yes, you can add to do. Don't forget. Don't you forget. This is fine. Oh, don't you. For simple minds. Yeah. So, okay. So that's completely fine to add. This parses, basically. It doesn't do anything else. But you can use that for tools, right? So tooling could grab this. IDEs could grab these. I want to add some more like I said, customization for this, so that you can like have it more well defined, because you can't do like this. This doesn't work. That syntax doesn't work. It just have this string, right? And I would like to be able to offer more things, but because it's like kind of ambiguous, I mean, you can't know whether you should parse it like this, or like if it should be like this. So maybe with this one, actually you can. So maybe I'll add that as another improvement. So then it will be like an expression. So, still, we just parse it, right? It won't do anything with it. The bad thing is that if you do something like this, it will still accept it. You know, it's like the deprecation, but you mistyped it, and it doesn't work. Okay, so that's all for today. So have a nice afternoon. I'll grab some lunch now. Goodbye.